Now we get to the final overrated cinematic flop on this list. I just want to say I've been getting some complaints about my cursing lately, so I'm going to be keeping my language to a minimum, if not just not cursing at all. But anyway, we're down to the final thing on this list. Number 1, Phineas and Ferb. This is another series that I just do not get why everybody likes so much. And it's like one of the worst things ever. One of the worst things ever. If you haven't seen the series, this is just my opinion, but it is bad. It is a whole other level of bad. It is something that nobody should have to endure, and this is like another Disney flick that I had to watch while babysitting and stuff. Yeah. But this is something that, like, so many people, that's sort of like the talk of town at my school. Even people who don't like SpongeBob like this series for some reason. And I hate both series, but I think that SpongeBob is better because, arguably better, because to that series' credit, it did have some creativity that was good for kids. It can make toddlers laugh, at least. And I can understand that. But this has no creativity. In fact, it's like the series is trying to piss us off or something. And you can tell that SpongeBob is trying to be a good show, but this is just, oh my god, it's bad. But as to why it's bad, it was pretty creative at first. With, like, the first episode, it's got, like, 2 young boys named Phineas and Ferb. One of them doesn't talk. Ferb, they keep trying to come up with creative things to do during the summer vacation, and their bratty sisters always trying to rat them out, but fails. And they have a pet ostrich, or I forget what that thing is, what they're called. Porpoise? Is it porpoise? Platypus, that's it. They have a pet platypus who's a secret agent, and he keeps trying to stop a mad scientist, but I can get why you like that, but they do the same thing over and over and over and over again. I'm not really angry, I'm just theatricality, you know. I gotta keep it quiet though, because my parents like me being civilized. But like I said, they just keep doing the same thing over and over again, literally. I mean, it's always the sister trying to rat them out. It's always the brothers doing something good and never getting, like, awesome and never getting caught. And it's always the platypus fighting the same bad guy again and winning. And, like, even the platypus's fights with the mad scientist are, like, replicated over and over again. He gets in there, he falls into a trap, he gets out somehow, then he and the doctor get into, like, some kind of fight, be it like fists or some kind of childish maneuver, and then the doctor loses. The end. It's like the same concept over and over again. It's really like the writers just, like, it was probably maybe a whole bunch of writers getting together, and they all decided to procrastinate, and they just got lazy and said, okay, let's come up with this. The kids will probably like it. It might be fun, who knows? It's not. I know you all enjoy it, and I know a good amount of people who enjoy it, but it's terrible. I mean, okay. This is another thing that I want you to explain to me. Actually, for all the movies, explain why you like them. Honestly, I would like to hear your own opinions, because I just don't get why you like these series so much. Oh wait, I'm not done with this yet. This is like This is like the #1 series. I should be giving it the bashing it deserves. And the characters, we've seen this kind of like story before. It's like this kind of story that's been told to death. Like the main characters are just your generic, creative, like ADHD kind of people. Like the kind of people who think that life is boring and they try to find something interesting to do with it. Like they try to make the best of their time, like that. It's generic, nothing like new, and they're like always so enthusiastic about what they do. But they never like change. Basically, their personalities never change at all. There's never like any tension in the stories. The main problem with this is that they keep doing the same thing over and over again. It's like, I wouldn't mind. In fact, if they did do like different things, I probably would have thought this series was better than SpongeBob. And SpongeBob would be #1 on this list. But this is #1 because they just do not know how to change topics. And honestly, it's arguably one of the worst series on Disney Channel, and that is saying something, because Disney Channel is just an atrocity in itself by what it does, and it's just terrible, and everything about Disney Channel is an atrocity. Yeah, we'll get to that later, but this is just an atrocity mainly because Disney, we all know that Disney likes to do everything over and over again. It's like teenage years, they're going to school, they're dealing with like everyday things. It doesn't really, because actually this isn't a Disney Channel video, I'll just save for the Disney Channel review. But this is just Disney Channel at its blandest in terms of series. They do the same thing over and over again, same characters, same stereotypical theme, whatever, and it's really bad. Actually, I'm trying to come up with a way to explain this, because oh yeah, there's another thing. The things that they do, that they like try to do, some might find this good, some might find this bad, but I find it bad. What they try to do, it just completely defies logic or whatever, and it's like but the characters, it's like they're no good at all, and there's just like, the jokes are terrible too. Like there's this one joke that they try to make work. It's this episode where the sister is trapped in a ship or something, and she's trying to get out. She's like, they tell her, whatever you do, don't press buttons randomly. And she's like pressing all the buttons. Like, I can't hear you. I'm too busy pressing buttons randomly. That was just, it's like, that's all you got? Seriously? And it's like they were trying to make that joke a bad one, honestly, because I can respect honest to God effort from the studio, but like, oh, and another thing too, the songs, there were like times when they had musical numbers that they just threw in randomly. It's like they just threw in there for no reason. That helped. It didn't help much with the story. And like there was this birthday song. Yeah, the sister's name is Candace, by the way. They rhymed her name with Praying Mantis as the big lyric for the song. Fuck. Sorry. But again, let me just explain. Like, fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. I can respect honest to God effort. Like, I can respect it when people are trying to make a good film, or series like the others, you can tell that they were trying to be good. Well, almost all of them. Like, Scott Pilgrim, I saw no effort there, except for the special effects. It was just it was just like Rambo meets, like, it was just basically, that was basically just Power Rangers meets My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Two terrible flicks combined into one. It's practically a nightmare. Another one is Three Ninjas. I saw no effort there either. SpongeBob, I did see effort, and I respect that. That's one of the few things about the... In fact, actually, it's the only thing about SpongeBob that I respect. But this is just... I think that the writers... I really think that the writers were just too lazy, or they just had no skill whatsoever. They just didn't know what to come up with, so they threw this generic story onto the plate and hoped that the children would like it, and children have liked it, and that's good for them. Power to the tasteless people. No offense, but to the tasteless assholes. No offense. If you like this show, power to you. But I cannot stand this show. It's one of the worst things. It's actually the worst thing that has happened to television. It's unspeakably bad. You see, but what makes it even worse is that you see they're not trying to make a good series. In fact, that's just Disney Channel in itself, and this is the epiphany of Disney Channel's not goodness, whatever. It's the epiphany of how bad Disney Channel can be. It's the epitome of it, and it's the devil's show. Disney Channel is the devil's channel, but it just, I think that they might have been trying to recreate a scenery similar to the old Disney, but they just don't get it. I mean, the original scenery of Disney was, it's not like this whole Looney Tunes kind of thing. It's this thing where you're at peace and you feel like you're back, you're a child again, you know? Like, and they do present actual generic feelings, but if you want, like, to make a good flick like that's the old Disney, you want to present these feelings and characters that you can really feel, that you really feel sympathetic for the good guys, and you want to see the bad guys go down. This is just the same thing over and over again, and it's like they're not even trying. It's like they're trying to be a bad series, and if they were trying to be a bad series, they did a great job. They did a fantastic job at being a bad series. If they were trying to be a good series, they're idiots. Okay, if you were trying to be a good series, Phineas and Ferb creators, you're idiots. Sorry. It's the truth. You are... Okay. Again. This is like, if you liked any of the movie series that were on this list, don't worry, I'm going to be making a list next time of top 10 movies that I liked but everybody else hated, so you'll get your vengeance on me then. But overall, okay, yeah, and a favor from all you likers out there of the movies and series: comment on the respective videos, explain why you like these things. Just, but I guess we can come to some sort of understanding. But I'm not changing my opinion. These are terrible movies and shows. They're terrible. Well, actually, I might regret putting Naruto on this list, but again, it's just the main characters, like just the generic, stereotypical, like, main characters just pretty much ruined the show. And Again, I like Naruto Shippuden. I love Naruto Shippuden, but I'm almost out of time. Well, comment, rate, subscribe. I'm really fucked up, but you can call me the Black Phoenix 100. Signing out.